Hari Om and good morning from Niagara Falls. If you don't stand up for something, you fall for everything. If you don't stand up for something, you fall for everything. This is a famous quote from Malcolm X. And I'll share this in a lighter way. If you don't wake up with a purpose every morning, the world takes over. If you don't wake up with a purpose every morning, the world owns you then, doesn't it? Pushes you around here, there. The beginning of Kishkinda Kanda, a word that describes Bhagwan Rama and Sri Lakshmana, is Saddharma Varmau. Saddharma Varmau. Varma here means armor, protector. Saddharma means religion, or Sanatana Dharma. Bhagwan Rama and Sri Lakshmana are protectors of Sanatana Dharma. And I feel all of us are trying to be the same by studying what Bhagwan Rama stands for, by studying Ramayana, not just the Katha, but the Vedanta part. We too are becoming protectors of Saddharma. And we've all heard the teaching, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. The one who protects Dharma, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha, is protected by Dharma. The more we immerse ourselves in Vedanta and Ramayana, the more we will do away with worry, do away with fear. For we are aligning with what our responsibility is in a relative sense and absolute sense. This morning, when I found out that some of our classes were canceled in other centers, and I analyzed the same for our Niagara Center, and we had to cancel classes. I was to be at the ashram at 9 a.m., and now here we have class at 11. And I was sharing with Sheila, this is what people do on Sunday morning. They sleep in and eat pancakes and pretend to do work. And it was very comfortable. But being comfortable, one doesn't grow though. I thought, me sleeping in and eating pancakes and slowing down, how am I a better person because of that? Us having to facilitate our Sunday programs is a form of tapa, a form of expanding our comfort zone. So as you think of being a Saddharma Varmau, that means to not be comfortable until you are independently joyous. Okay? What we're doing on Sunday mornings is not comfortable. However, this is responsible. This is the path of Shreya, long-term thinking. Everyone agrees. You have no choice but to agree, right? Will you openly say no, as I'm asking all of you? Hanumanji is in front of Bhagwan Rama. What a joy that Hanumanji is now in our katha. And it's such a real katha that people come and go. Raja Dasharatha began the katha, he's not there. Mother Sita had come, Mother Sita had gone, now Hanumanji has come. So real. And Hanumanji says to Bhagwan Rama, Nahi upai. Nahi upai, I have no other path. I have no other purpose other than you. And Hanumanji becomes Bhagwan Rama's Vahana. That he keeps Bhagwan Rama on his shoulders. He keeps Bhagwan Rama above him and lives for him. And for us to be that close to Bhagwan Rama, that is to independent joy, for us too, nahi upai, which means ananya bhakti, no other path, no other purpose. Hanumanji is prostrate at Bhagwan Rama's feet, and Bhagwan Rama lifts him up and holds him close. And in that, Bhagwan Rama is telling Hanumanji, come as you are. Don't come as in a disguise. Don't come as you are hoping to be like this. Come as you are. Because I can see through all of the Maya. I am Mayapati. I can see through the disguises. I can see through the confusions. When Hanumanji comes as he is, it is then that Bhagwan Rama brings him close, sharing this at a relative level. Bhagwan knows our ability. He's the one who created that ability. Our responsibility is to merge that ability into capability. Now, in English, they're the same, ability and capability. Philosophically, they are not. Ability is your potential. Capability is how much do you release of that potential? How much of that ability have you captured? Bhagwan Rama knows our ability. Our Creator knows our potential. And when we are ever prostrate, in other words, ever devoted, one purpose, then our capability starts to become real. Did you follow all of that? I was on a roll, so I didn't stop in all of that. I just want you to know there's a difference between ability and capability. God knows our ability. When we make God our purpose, then that ability becomes capability. You actually realize that. You actually live that. And the way that Swami Tejomayananda shares this, God is not looking at our ability, He's looking at our availability. Not ability, but availability. He already knows our ability. But are we making ourselves available for that ability to rise? All right? Hanumanji then carries Bhagwan Rama and Sri Lakshmana to Sugriva. And Sugriva is most happy that he's able to be with Bhagwan Rama. And when Bhagwan Rama says, my wife has been kidnapped, I'm looking for her, Sugriva narrates how they were sitting on Rishamukha Parvata and a lady was saying, Rama, 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 and she dropped these packets of cloth. And that's how Sugriva describes this, as cloth. And Bhagwan Rama says, show them to me. But the cloth was just the outside, the inside was gold. And Sugriva, so straightforward, he thought all of that was just cloth. All of that is of the same value. Now for us, if we found a wallet on the ground, throw the wallet away and keep what's inside, right? And you go to return the wallet. What did you find in that? It was empty. I'm just going to pause here for one moment. So Sugriva gives him this cloth and jewels, and Bhagwan Rama recognizes these jewels, but he wants to confirm. So he asks Sri Lakshmana, and this is a famous portion of Ramayana, an emotional portion. When Bhagwan Rama shows Sri Lakshmana these jewels, this is what Sri Lakshmana says. This is found in Valmikiji's Ramayana, not in Goswamiji's Ramayana. Naham janami kiyuram. Naham janami kiyuram. I don't know these armlets. Kiyuram means those armlets. How else do I describe it? Naham janami kundalam. Naham janami kundalam. I don't know these earrings. Nupuram eva janami. Nupuram eva janami. I do know the anklets. I do know the anklets. Nitya padabi vandanat. Nitya padabi vandanat. Why do I know these anklets? Nitya means forever. Padabi, the feet. Vandanat, I've been worshipping. I've been living for. Sri Lakshmana never looked past Mother Sita's feet. And when says this to Bhagwan Rama. He's crying because he misses her too. Obviously, Bhagwan Rama is crying too. It is a very emotional part of Ramayana. So Sri Lakshmana says this, but he knows those Nupuram, and so they know that Mother Sita has come in this direction. Sugriva shares with Bhagwan Rama, I will help. And Bhagwan Rama, he treats this opportunity as an opportunity to help his bhaktas. Sugriva, all of them, he doesn't feel like he's being helped. He's spinning this around that this is my opportunity to serve bhaktas. At no point does Bhagwan Rama let selfishness, it's about me, come into his mind, into his words. Even here, he is looking at this as an opportunity to serve his bhaktas. And this will come out more clearly when we get into the Mitra Dharma. The focus of Kishkinda Kanda is friendship, which I'll now elaborate on. We are on the 10th section of Chaupais, and I'm going to read the Doha. The 10th section of Chaupais, this is the Doha. Ramacharana Dhrida Preeti Kari Bali Kina Tanu Tyaga Sumana Mala Jimi Kanta The Giratana Jana Inaga. Goswamiji is describing the death of Vali. And Vali, as he's dying, asks Bhagwan Rama for bhakti. And as Bhagwan Rama bestows this upon Vali, he lets go of his body the way an elephant would let go of a wreath that it's wearing. Does an elephant know that it's wearing a wreath or a garland? It just falls off. So Vali too, what is implied here is that he's bestowed with that love for Bhagwan Rama. He's attached to the higher and detached from the lower. So I'll open this up some. Hanumanji had shared with Bhagwan Rama and Sugriva who they are in brief, but Sri Lakshmana is more of a suspicious type. He's more of a protector. So he asks Sugriva in detail, tell me what you're doing here on this mountain. How come you can't leave here? Who is this Hanumanji? Wanting to ensure that everything is right. So Sugriva begins to describe. He has an older brother named Vali. And Vali is the son of Indra. And he is Sugriva. He is the son of Surya. Please remember that as I get into the Vedanta part. And Vali and Sugriva loved each other. Sugriva being the younger. Vali's wife's name is Tara. Sugriva's wife's name is Ruma. They lived in this kingdom, Kishkinda, happily. Now you enter a person by the name of Maya. Not Maya, I'm saying Maya, like Chinmaya. And Maya had some kids whom you know. One of his kids, his daughter is Mandodari, who is Ravana's wife. Another child is known as Dundubi. And Dundubi was someone most rajasic, and he challenged Vali to battle. Vali was given a garland by his father Indra, and with this garland, anyone who's in front of Vali gets half of that strength. Yes, you're all familiar with that? Indra had given him this garland. So it didn't matter who would fight Vali because he would have half that person's strength. He would win. So he destroyed Dundubi. And Dundubi was in this form of a buffalo. And he threw this corpse. And as this corpse was flying, some blood had dripped from this corpse and landed in Matanga Rishi's ashram. Remember, we met Matanga Rishi already. He is the guru of Shabariji. Remember, he moved on. He moved on to the Rishyamukha Parvata. I mentioned to you that Rishi Amukha, where rishis are engaged in silence or tapa. And Matanga Rishi was mad, and he said that whoever caused this blood to drip in my ashram on this Parvata, if that person comes here, then they will bleed to death. They will die. So this was shared. So Dundubi. Everyone's following the katha? Now Dundubi had an older brother and his name is Mayavi. Mayavi. Now Mayavi also challenged Vali because he destroyed his brother, and Vali could never turn down a battle. Vali was one of those egotistical people. Never backs down. This Mayavi comes outside of Vali's home at night and challenges him. And Vali says, fine, I'm coming. And Mayavi runs away and goes into a cave because Rakshasas are stronger at night, stronger in the dark. Now Sugriva goes too, in case anything happens. So he goes with Vali, and Vali, before he goes into the cave, says, I will be here for up to 15 days. I know this Mayavi, this battle will go on long. And if I don't come out after 15 days, then you consider me dead and you carry on. So Sugriva waited outside 1 week, 2 weeks, 30 days had passed, and then this huge stream of blood started flowing out of that cave. And Sugriva thought that his brother is so strong, if it's taken this long, then his brother is dead. So he puts this boulder in front of this cave and goes back to the kingdom sad. His brother has died, and tells the ministers there of what has happened. And those ministers say, without a king, we can't go on, so you have to become the king. So Sugriva assumes that kingdom, but it wasn't Vali who died, it was Mayavi. And so he moves this boulder and immediately thinks Sugriva did this on purpose. And runs to that kingdom and sees Sugriva on the throne. He goes there and beats him hard. And Sugriva starts to run. Now I said Sugriva is the son of the sun, correct? And we all know that light is the fastest moving element. So Sugriva was a runner. Vali was strong, Sugriva had stamina. So he ran and ran and ran all over. It's shared that Sugriva has run to every part of the world. And so I jokingly say all of us can set up religious tourism. That Sugriva came to Niagara Falls, Sugriva came to Portland, and Peoria too. Nobody else in America knows where Peoria is, but Sugriva found Peoria. Now Hanumanji, being Sugriva's minister or friend, he knew about this curse from Matanga Rishi. So he said, you should go to Rishyamukha Parvata because Vali can't come here. And that's why he stopped there, but he was still scared because Vali kept on sending assassins. That's why he thought Bhagavan Rama and Sri Lakshmana were assassins. In brief, did you catch the Vali Sugriva, why they're not liking each other right now? Okay. When Bhagavan Rama hears this katha, he feels strongly that Vali is in the wrong. He just assumed that Sugriva did this. He could have just talked to Sugriva. Vali took Sugriva's wife, also Ruma. And the way that Sugriva is to help Bhagavan Rama decides to help Sugriva. And in this portion, as they're discussing this, Bhagavan Rama explains to Sugriva and to all of us a famous portion called Mitra Dharma. This is the characteristics of a friendship, and I'm going to focus on that more soon, but I want to finish the katha part. After Sugriva hears all of the characteristics of a friend, he realizes how close of a friend Bhagavan Rama is. And so Bhagwan Rama tells Sugriva, go and challenge Vali. And he's so habituated to being scared, he keeps saying, are you sure? You know about his wreath. And Sugriva even says, can you show me how strong you are? So those bones of Dundubi, remember that buffalo? They happen to be near where Sugriva is. I told you that corpse was kicked. So, Sugriva tells Bhagwan Rama, you see this buffalo bones? My brother did that. So Bhagwan Rama coughed, and with one toe, he kicked that whole corpse of bones across the world. So just like casually, like when people are so strong and they casually lift something up, so Bhagwan Rama did that. So Sugriva said, yeah, but the bones are dry right now. It's light. When there was flesh and weight, my brother was able to do that. So Bhagwan Rama saw that there were 7 palm trees there. So he took out his arrow and shot this arrow that went through 7 palm trees into hell, Patala, and came back to his quiver. And then he smiled. And then Sugriva said, okay, I'll go challenge Vali. I think you're strong enough. So these two get into a fight, Sugriva and Vali is beating him down hard. So round 1 was over, so Sugriva comes back all beaten. And Sugriva is looking to Bhagwan Rama, how come you're not helping? And Bhagwan Rama says, you're both monkeys, you look the same. How do I know who's who? But he takes his hand and he starts caressing Sugriva, and all of his hurt, all of his pain turns into like a vajra. We say vajrangi. Becomes like platinum. I think platinum is a hard metal, so it becomes like platinum. And then he gives him a garland. And then Sugriva goes back, and we all know what will happen. But Bhagwan Rama was able to see the difference between Sugriva and Vali. So we'll leave the katha there and go into some Vedanta. Everyone's with me? Okay. The Vedanta part. Who's Vali the son of? Indra. Who's Sugriva the son of? Surya. Yes? In Ramayana. Let's fast forward to Mahabharata. Who is Karna the son of? Surya. Who is Arjuna the son of? Indra. We like to think Bhagwan is partial, but he is not partial. Bhagwan is only partial to dharma, not to a particular personality. See how he helps Surya's son in Ramayana, but helps Indra's son in Mahabharata. If you ever feel that Bhagwan is not partial to you, the truth is that means we're not partial to dharma. There's no space for blaming when it comes to our relationship with God. Continuing, in chapter 1, or the first kanda, what dharma did we learn? Putra dharma. What it means to be a child. That's why Ramayana is all ages, isn't it? This is not just to be studied when you're 60. Putra dharma. The responsibilities of a child. And so if you have kids right now, you go study this back and you show this to your kids. This is your responsibilities. In the second kanda, sort of, because they bleed into each other, is Shishya Dharma. The responsibilities of a student. Bhagwan Rama lives with Rishi Vishwamitra and on and on and on. Shishya Dharma. That focus comes out in Ayodhya Kanda. In the third kanda, which we just completed, is Patni Dharma. But don't think of this just as a wife's dharma. This is a spouse's dharma. Saha Dharmachari, Saha Dharmacharini. Not just Patni. Everyone's clear about that? It's called Putra, but I said child. Yes? Shishya means disciple, not male or female. Patni Dharma is just a title. The responsibilities of a spouse. The fourth kanda, which we're now studying, this is called Mitra Dharma. The responsibilities of a friend. How to be a good friend. And if you want to take this even deeper, We've studied in Taittiriya Upanishad, Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, and then Atiti Devo Bhava, correct? What the Upanishads teach, Ramayana demonstrates. Putra Dharma, there's mother and father. Yes? Acharya Devo Bhava, we studied Shishya Dharma, isn't it? Then a spouse is someone you invite into your life. Sort of. That's like Atiti Devo Bhava. And friendship, definitely. You invite your friends into your life. So this is focusing on how to treat people who are not biological to you. People you've invited into your life. Your spouse, your friends. Good? There's a lot that's shared about Mitra Dharma. So if you would like to study this more, I am going to highlight portions for you. This begins in the 7th section of Chopais. Right from the beginning, the first Chopai begins Mitra Dharma. There's a lot in here. Here's the highlights. A friend is one who is selfless. Selfless. They always make another person, their friends, challenges much more significant than their own challenges. They make their challenges small and they make another person's challenges big. And you saw when Bhagavan Rama met Sugriva, Sugriva never talked about his challenges. He first talked about Bhagavan Rama's, correct? And Bhagavan Rama did the same. He never talked about his challenges. He wants to help Sugriva. Selfless. Next is Mitra Dharma. A friend is one who challenges one to be better, to be dharmic. And so they will not hesitate to correct a friend. What you're saying is wrong. How you're behaving is not characteristic of what your personality is like. And in this Mitra Dharma, Bhagavan says, he uses specific terms that one should praise in public and censure in private. Even that detail is shared. This is in the second Chopai, this detail is shared. With friendship, to not be careless, to focus on one's aguna, vices in public. It's hurtful. Then Bhagavan shifts to a friend is one who is giving, one who is generous, large-hearted. He says a friend is one who gives without that other friend having to ask. Without that other person having to ask, that's a strong friend. If a friend has to ask, then maybe that other friend doesn't know them as well. A friend is one who gives without the idea of reciprocity. They give and give and give and are not caring if they get anything back. Without reciprocity. Then if you're a friend in need, you ask freely. Right? Friendships go both ways. If I'm your friend and I need something, I ask freely. I don't let my ego be there that I'm not going to ask. You ask freely. I'd read a great message, I think from Rumi, that says, asking too much is greed and asking too little is pride. The greed part we get, but if you ask for too little, there's an element of pride there, isn't it? You should ask for what you need. And if you ask, you should return without having to be reminded that you have to return this. This is a major point. I find so many people borrow things, but they just assume possession of that, like a squatter, right? I'm temporarily living on this land, but soon it becomes my land. You should, if you've asked, give. Give back without having that person to remind you. And the last point that Bhagavan shares here, these are all highlights. When a friend is in a problem, you should love them more. When a friend is being problematic, you should love them 100 times. That's the degree that Bhagavan shares, that's hard, isn't it? So many of our friends are because it's easy. They're young, they're healthy, they don't ask for a lot. But as someone gets older, someone is unwell, they become more needy, can we still love them? Beautiful portion of Ramayana. And Bhagavan completes this mitra dharma by sharing the opposite too. Right? There's the positive parts of being a friend. To make this more clear, he shares the opposite too, so that we're not like this. In the Upanishads, this would be called neti, correct? Neti, neti here, iti, iti here. Not friend. Mitra adharma is one who speaks to you one way in the front and speaks about you differently when they're behind you. We call them backstabbers, correct? In the front they say one thing, in the back they say something else. They're ones who will say you're doing the right thing, but behind your back they'll go and tell everyone, no, that person's wrong. You should say that too, you know? Mitra adharma is one who has a mind like a snake. They're very complex. They go there, then there, they're wiggling. You never know where a snake will go. They're like that too. They're moody, they're your friend this time, they're mean to another time. So be aware of people who have these snake-like minds. Fair enough? When Sugriva hears all of this, you know what he tells Bhagavan Rama? He says, I think Vali is my mitra. The same Vali that's trying to kill him, the same Vali that took his family, Sugriva says, Vali is my mitra. Now why? Because it was on account of Vali that he got to meet Bhagavan Rama, isn't it? I'd shared with you, a friend is one who challenges you, makes you better, brings you to Dharma. Vali brought Sugriva to Bhagavan, to Dharma, isn't it? That's why I said Sunday mornings, real Dharma is what we're doing, not pancakes and a warm bed. That's Sunday adharma. As Bhagavan Rama shoots Vali in the heart and he's dying, Vali says, what did I do wrong? And Bhagavan Rama says all of the things I shared with you. You never talk to your brother. You should treat your sister-in-law as your daughter. There's 4 types of people that you should treat as your daughter. Your sister-in-law is one of them, as your daughter. But you treated her like a wife. So there's many wrong things that you've done. So Vali doesn't fight it. He understands and says, as I'm dying, please bless me with bhakti to your feet. And when someone says that to Bhagavan, Bhagavan has no choice but to say yes. And that's why we ended this portion with Vali's body falling off like a wreath on an elephant. Good? We were to study some more. And I'll just introduce lightly, and then we'll have a discussion, okay? We'll begin. Why not? I'm now on the 18th section of Chaupais, 18th, and this is the Doha again. Here, Bhagavan Rama is speaking to Sri Lakshmana. Taba anujahi samujhava Raghupati karuna siv. Bhagavan Rama is explaining to Sri Lakshmana, because Bhagavan Rama is the best in compassion. Bhaya dekai lai avahu. Bring Sugriva, frighten him, don't kill him, just correct him. Tata saka Sugriva, because he is our friend, he's not our enemy. So what has happened here is, Vali has died, so now, leading up to that, Tara comes there, Vali's wife, comes to Bhagavan Rama, and she's obviously distressed, and I'll explain a little bit more about that shortly. And Bhagavan Rama explains to her why he had to kill Vali, explains to her, she is relieved. Angada, that is Vali's son, becomes the Yuvaraja. He becomes the crown prince. Who's Angada? That's Vali's son, not Sugriva's. Vali's son becomes the Yuvaraja. So Tara's matter is checkmarked. Vali's son, Angada, that matter is checked. And Sugriva assumes becoming the king of this Kishkindha, and then the rainy season begins. This is called Chatur Masya. During the rainy season in Bharat, it's not a casual matter. You can imagine if there weren't indoors and roofs like we now have, or vehicles. How would people travel? Especially in the jungle. So during this period, people don't move. That's why you would have seen last year, Puja Swami Tejomayananda, he practiced Chaturmasya from June through September. He stayed in the same ashram. He stayed at Sandipani. So Bhagwan Rama too says, it is a rainy season. We will not be able to move to find Mother Sita. So he tells Sugriva, go and enjoy. And Sugriva enjoys being the king because he's been living in fear for so long. That's a basic portion of the katha. But what happens is that Sugriva forgets his responsibility to Bhagwan Rama, isn't it? And so he's indulging, and Bhagwan Rama realizes that the rainy season is over, so he sends Sri Lakshmana to go remind Sugriva. And when Sri Lakshmana gets those opportunities, he loves it. Right? In the name of Bhagwan Rama, he strings his bow. Sugriva can hear his bow from where they are. They're living outside of the kingdom. He's ready. He was waiting for this. But Bhagwan Rama stops him saying, hey, don't kill him. He's our friend. Just scare him. Imagine the kingship or the craftsmanship that Bhagwan Rama exercises. I read to you the word that says, go and scare him, but he's our friend. Now, all of you shouldn't go and become the same way, but understand that in principle, this is a communication style. So let's go into the Vedanta. When Tara goes to Bhagwan Rama and says, why did you do this to my husband? What am I supposed to do now? Bhagwan Rama actually gives Tara Brahma Vidya. He enlightens her. And what he says to her, you have to know this line also. He says to her, Jiva Nitya. Jiva Nitya means, here Jiva is the spirit, is always. So, Kehi lagi tuma rova. Who are you crying for? What do you mean your husband has been killed? What do you mean your husband has died? Your husband is not your husband. Your husband is the Atma. Why are you grieving? Have you heard this message before? This is Srimad Bhagavad Gita, no? Bhagavan Krishna's simple teaching to Prince Arjuna, even before Acharya Bhishma and Acharya Drona are dead, is the wise do not grieve. Ramayana and Srimad Bhagavad Gita are the same. And now let's talk about Angada. Vali was enlightened, correct? Enlightened and died. Tara was enlightened and lived. Correct? Videha Mukti, Vali. Jivan Mukti, Tara. That's amazing. If that's all it takes to be enlightened, then I wish I was Vali. And the most blessed in all of this is Angada. Angada's Jivan Mukta, and he gets to serve Bhagwan Rama, isn't it? Tara is now away from the katha, but Angada gets to stay on with Bhagwan Rama. That's bhakti. Jivan Mukta, bhakta. The whole family is blessed by Bhagwan. And coming to Sugriva, post-rainy season and his indulgence, going back to Bhagavad Gita, if you remember in chapter 7, 4 types of bhaktas are identified. The lowest type is known as Arthi. Arthi? There's Artha. Artha means one who remembers God in adversity. Artha. Higher than that is Artharthi, one who remembers God in prosperity. And Sugriva's this higher type of bhakta, you see, when someone is in prosperity, they often forget how they got to prosperity, isn't it? Which is why we keep saying we learn more in adversity. Sugriva also forgot who brought him to prosperity. We shouldn't be like Sugriva. And if we are, who's coming to us? Sri Lakshmana. You should feel Sri Lakshmana with the twang of his bow. And thank God, God is also with Sri Lakshmana, that Bhagwan Rama is compassionate, that we don't just die. We wake up before we die. Artharthi. Now I'm going to take this to a very deep and beautiful level, and then we'll finish. In Goswamiji's Vinaya Patrika, this is an auxiliary text to Ramayana, Goswamiji's Ramayana, he gives the symbolism. He shares how we can all relate to this. Sugriva is the jiva. Vali is karma. Karma, karma, phala. So Sugriva is the ego, and Vali is the cycle of actions and fruits. Now think, the actions and fruits, the karma is always chasing the jiva, isn't it? The more karma you do, the more karma you'll get. And this goes on and on and on. Yes? And the only place where a jiva can find rest is satsanga. Rishyamukha Parvata is symbolic for satsanga. In satsanga you find rest. And this rest means, why am I engaged in this karma? What am I doing with my life? Jiva, karma, satsanga. Sugriva, Vali, Rishyamukha Parvata. And now the final part of this is, what is the only way for all karma to end once and for all? Jnana. Bhagwan Rama is Jnana. What happens in that satsanga? What happens in Rishyamukha Parvata? Jnana is introduced, correct? I shared that with all of you when we studied the Navada Bhagati. The first ladder in loving God, loving the Spirit is satsang. You're introduced to yourself. Bhagwan Rama here is Jnana. Then karma ends that. The karma is for the jiva, not for the atma. And then we grow up from being a artharthi bhakta, which is the second or the third highest, is a third type of bhakta, to becoming the first type of bhakta. What is the first type of bhakta known as? Jnani. That's where one becomes grows up, evolves to becoming a jnani. I don't care about adversity. I don't care about prosperity. I don't care about wanting to know God. I only care about knowing God. Narayana.